everyone, and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, and this is the Blue Collar Wine Show, where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. I have two Syrah here. I had to try these back to back because I was very curious about these wines. They're both Syrah. They're both from, one's from Italy, one's from France. Of course, France is famous for Syrah. In the Rhone Valley, they do a ton of it. This is not the Rhone Valley, near it. This estate is on the foot of the Pyrenees Mountains. And this is from Sicily, a place not necessarily known for Syrah. They're known for Nero di Avola, they're known for Cannonau, things like that, but not necessarily Syrah. So I'm really curious to try these, and they're really inexpensive wines. So it's always fun to do inexpensive wines. Now Syrah, just a little scoop on Syrah, also called Shiraz in South Africa and especially Australia, took a big hit when Australian wines really started to tank. I mean, back in the day, you remember, I mean, Shiraz was the hot ticket. Yellowtail, Lindemans, all those guys, Penfolds. Just Shiraz was hot. You put a stack of Shiraz. I remember, what's that one that came out? I can't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, layer cake, Shiraz. You put, if you could get it, put it on the floor, boom, gone. 15 bucks a bottle, it was gone. And then all of a sudden, everybody just got sick and tired of inexpensive Shiraz. And of course, through all those years where we tried, all of us wine guys said, hey, Shiraz is Syrah, same thing. We convinced them, they finally learned that, and then when Shiraz took a hit, so did Syrah. So, blame it on the wine stewards, the sommeliers, all those guys that taught people that Shiraz is Syrah, and then Shiraz took a hit, Syrah took a hit. So Syrah's starting to edge back into the picture. I'm selling more Syrah now than I did 2 years ago, easily. So that's a good thing, especially Washington State Syrah. I love Washington State Syrah, as you've heard me say in the past. So let's get started. This is the Syrah Syrah, and this is produced by, if I can read this, I can't, it's too tiny for me to believe. Anyway, Syrah Syrah. This is a 2015 Terra Siciliani, so it's from Sicily, and it rolls in at $10. So you're looking at a really good value here. I'm really curious to try this. There's the label, and you can see it. It's too bad I should have wrote it down somewhere bigger, but yeah, anyway. Syrah, if you look it up on Wine Searcher, you can see. I'm going to work on my pouring skills. They've really been sucky lately. I don't know why. I don't know if it's the way I dump it out of the glass. See, look at that. It's ridiculous. I know how to pour wine. I do it all the time. All right, let's see what we get on the nose. I got just a little tiny bit of stink. Almost like a mushroom component coming through, which I find very curious. Not much so, very challenged on the nose. Let's see what we get on the palate. It surprised me on the palate because there's nothing on the nose, but I got this nice little pop of fruit and a little bit of smokiness, which is very typical of Syrah. Can be very smoky. We use the term bacon fat sometimes because a lot of the Washington State Syrahs have bacon fat components in them. This one has a little bit of a smokiness to it, and I'm getting kind of a plum, boysenberry sort of flavors coming through, and a lot, like a boatload, a crap load of minerals on the backside, like crushed rock, earth, a little bit of white pepper, maybe, no, not white pepper, excuse me, black pepper. Nice balance across the palate. Expands just slightly on the mid palate. The minerality comes through right on the finish, not up front, on the finish. And then it has this red flower component that comes through right on the back of the mid palate that I really like. And the red flower notes linger around with the with a little red fruit action. So it goes from kind of smoky, plum, boysenberry, red flower, minerality, and then the red flowers linger with a little bit of red berry. Pretty interesting wine for 10 bucks. I would recommend this to anybody. What a great wine if you're just cooking up some hamburgers, having a pizza, you know, meatballs or something like that. This would be perfect. I mean, 10 bucks. I do not carry this at the store for you homies that watch me, and thank you very much for your support. I'll look into this. I have no idea where I got this wine. That's the problem. Sometimes these guys show up, and then they, I think I got it from Unique Wines, so I'll find out that. But I like it for 10 bucks. It's a nice play. It's certainly worthy of being a nice red table wine. I love finding $10 values like this. It's really good. Enough fruit to keep you New World palates happy, and enough of that earthiness, minerality for those guys who are kind of geeky about the Old World stuff. I'm gonna go straight up C plus B minus. Straight up. Well, that would be 1 grade. C plus B minus. I mean, for $10, it's really rocking. And I think in the last episode I was doing Bordeaux, and I had a little $10 Bordeaux that was disappointing. This has much more complexity than that. I really like this wine. Let's move on. 2016, de Jao, Syrah. Now this is from France. Jaja is a word they use for these red wines that come from, they refer to the red wines that come from the wineries near the Mediterranean coast in this area as Jaja. So kind of, you know, it's an endearing term. Juicy red wines, that's what they call them, Jaja. This winery is located at the base of the Pyrenees Mountains, and this rolls in at $12, 13% alcohol. So for you guys that are all concerned about alcohol, that's pretty low. Let's give it a little rinse. Now, you might see this label in a lot of stores. I just rediscovered it because in the wine world, brands disappear and then come back. And, you know, thankfully, Ben showed this to me, and I'm excited to try it again. I played with this wine in the past. 2016, de Jao, Syrah. Let's see what we got on those. Almost like a grape Kool-Aid. Kind of weird. It's a very interesting, I can't quite put my finger on it. It's got a very interesting aroma that's coming through. Definitely Kool-Aid, you know, it reminds me of the Kool-Aid powder. You know what I mean? Have you ever taken the, you know, dipped your finger in it? You know, that's... Yeah, it has that kind of, you know, Kool-Aid powder, sweet tart thing on the nose. A little bit of, like old dirt, you know, have you ever been in an area where baked dirt from the sun, you know, you crack it up, and it has that, a little bit of that smell to it. A little bit of tobacco, and just a lot of blackberry. Let's just say a lot of blackberry. Let's see what we get on the palate. Boy, talk about an 80%er wine, 90%. I use that term sometimes. One of my pick of the month, I try to go 80%, except in November. Next month will be my birth month. So I will pick more of an old world style wine. But what a cool wine. I mean, it has a lot of blackberry on the palate, and it has this interesting, it's not sweet, but it has like a candied kind of, you know, like those little candy, blackberry candies, Christmas hard candies. I love those things. It has a little bit of that on the back end. This has minerality on the finish. It's kind of juicy, but it's balanced, which I like. I mean, it doesn't go fruit forward, but it has fruit and has a nice little candied element without getting sweet. I don't know if that's any other way to explain it, but that's what I'm getting. There's a little cola coming through. And what it reminds me of, is when you go into a winery and they have those totes full of fermenting grapes, You almost can taste that when you're going in the winery. I love that smell, by the way. This has that on the palate. Get a little bit of that like fermenting grapes, but then, you know, there's no spritz or anything. It's not like it's fermenting. But that flavor that comes into my mouth when I walk into a winery and they have all these fermenters going, it has a little bit of that. And there's definitely some Kool-Aid action on the back end. There's a little sweet tart, a little grip on the backside. Again, once again, a very nice little Syrah that, you know, might appeal to the New World palate a little bit more than even the first one. I like the minerality, but the minerality isn't so strong you can't, you know, you would put off those New World palates, what I'm trying to say. This isn't smoky at all. A lot of blackberry and that, yeah, that cool little sweet tart Kool-Aid thing going on. I'm going to go straight up C+ on this one. I like it, $12. I like the other one better for $10, just saying. But this is a cool label. This is a great wine. I might even hedge towards B- on that. Very nice. Glad to be able to try those and show you what you can get. You keep watching. And by the way, thanks for watching. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.